5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
Live with Neve. How are you? I hope everybody's enjoying this beautiful weekend coming up. Here in the New York area, it is gorgeous. I mean, it is just perfect out there. So I'm digging it. I've got a great weekend planned. Got lots of fun things to do. And we have a great friend who will be joining us. I have Stephen Clark from out in Oregon. He's as far away as you can get from here as you can get without hitting the water. So he's only been playing 2.5 years, which I find extraordinary, and guy works hard. So, in today's show, I always look to see if I can find good news, and if not, I delve into a little bit of, bad news. Americans clicked ads to get free cash, and instead, what happened? Their health insurance was changed. So, hundreds of thousands of low-income Americans were unwillingly signed up to government-subsidized health insurance, often lured by social media ads falsely promising cash, gold, and other goodies. I don't know if they're giving gold out, but that would certainly get my attention. They have the Affordable Care Act. The government started paying the entire premium for people earning up to 150% of the poverty line, $21,870 for an individual. Previously, those individuals had to contribute 4% of their income premium. So there you have it. Somebody's out there scamming your health insurance, especially the people who are really needing it appears. So just more slime bag stuff. People do that kind of shit. None of us know why. But South Carolina, let's see. We got Louisiana has been slapped again by Hurricane Francine. Thousands in the dark, no water, just a mess. And we've got the cone of uncertainty. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, well, here you go, peeps. If you're living in that godforsaken region of the country, which gets hit with hurricanes every time, that's the cone of uncertainty. So, if you're there and in the cone of uncertainty, I can only advise you to drink heavily, liquor up, get your guns, give car keys to the kids and whiskey, and off you go. Louisiana communities assess damage and begin cleanup. It's just a mess, and that place is such a mess anyway. I mean, it's just, they have good food, but that's about it. And great people. All those folks are fun. They know how to party in New Orleans. So we have Francis Ford Coppola is suing Variety over a misconduct report. Let's see what he's up to. Francis Ford Coppola is suing Variety and 2 ex-editors for libel, saying that he behaved inappropriately and unprofessionally on the set of his new film Megalopolis. You know, first off, the guy's he's a director, and they're all a little wacky in the head, if you know what I mean. To be a director, you've got to have a vision, you've got to have a very sharp eye for detail, you got to like lists, and I don't know, man. You know, Coppola is one of the best filmmakers we've got, and I never hear him whining about politics, which I like that. You know, I don't really care what your politics are. I choose my friends on their virtues, not on their politics. And you know, again, people get in fights, and those are the people, the free-range rude who roam the planet, acting foolish and doing stupid things. So, as far as him acting weird, I don't see anything. Oh, he did hit on a woman. He asked, "Sorry if I came up to you to kiss you. Just know it's solely for my pleasure." Well, you know, things have changed a lot. Apparently, he was trying to kiss some of the topless and scantily clad extras. Now, I'm of the mind that when you work, you work. And there's an old saying, don't crap where you eat. So I kind of feel like, the guys on set pawing on the chicks, it's kind of not the style we do anymore. And he'll probably end up, I don't think, unless something comes out further, because that's usually what happens with these things, is the press grabs some tidbit, blow it up into something, make a big stink out of it, and then you find out it was relatively untrue. He says that they've made a conscious disregard of his rights with intent to vex, injure, or annoy him, such as to constitute malice, fraud, or oppression, thus entitling Coppola to exemplary and punitive damages. Ah, yes, millions of dollars. I'm offended. I don't know. The world's changed. Telling a woman that you'd like to give her a kiss used to be in fashion. No woman wants some guy who asks. They want a guy who just grabs her, gives her lays it on her. The time is right. You've got to know and time it and all that kind of stuff. So that's my spin on it. We'll see what the courts say about it. I mean, compared to the Weinstein case, and the thing is, 2 of those cases have been overturned. Now, of course, he spent an incredible amount of money to get that overturned. I've seen Weinstein in action in the Roxy in New York, which is a place that I used to be at a lot because I did a sound masking project there. And one of his hangouts, in fact, one of his favorite trysting locations, you'd see him in there, sitting there with his little sausagey fingers laying around, hitting on these chicks. I would occasionally walk by and say stuff like, "You don't want to date him? Come on with me." His posse would get very irritated, and that's really good because I kind of think they needed to be irritated a little bit. I hope you're not irritated at my attitude about it, but if you are, well, it's a free show. You can always click it off. Let's see. The question is, you tell me. I don't know. Can a woman be a drag queen? I'm going to say in this crazy era where some people believe we have like 100 different genders, I don't see why a woman couldn't be one. I don't know. This is a question for the ages, I guess. I really think, people do all kinds of stuff to get their amusement and get their freak. So this is a woman named Kaylee Amstutz, biological woman who identifies as such, and her drag persona is Chapel Roan, who's a female character. Really, this is the deal. It's acting. And I know a lot of people getting excited about it. I'm not into it. I don't dig drag shows, and I certainly don't think children should be having drag shows at school, which is the crap that goes on. But in general, contrary to popular belief, because it seems like so many people think that if you're not into 90 flavors of something, that you would, you're some kind of a bigot or something. I don't really care. I'm a live and let live guy. If you're an adult, you want to hang out and dress up like Marv Albert, toupee askew, jumping around. You picture Marv Albert leaping around with a bottle of champagne, it's scary, but he's a grown man, and if he wants to do that kind of thing, I don't really give a crap. It kind of made me look at Marv in a new way when I see him doing sports, but he was a great broadcaster, and who cares what he does on his own time? That's the way I feel about Chapel Roan. They're trying to make an issue out of this to just divide us a little more, and really, I'm not going to buy it. If she wants to go, it is unusual. Female impersonation as performance goes all the way back to the plays of ancient Greece. But the modern idea of a drag queen arose with the gay nightclubs of the mid-20th century. The prototypical drag queen was and still is an effeminate gay man in a face full of makeup with heels. All I can say is it would be a horrible look on me. I'll leave that to others to be a trend-setting person. Let's see. The future of Murdoch's empire comes down to court in Nevada. That could be scary. And Putin's basically telling us, you launch any long-range missiles at us and lift the restrictions on them, and they're going to reply with force. Now, he's threatened many times, but remember, people who threaten, if you keep poking them, they're going to poke back. I think a lot of people who think we should be trying to get in a war with Russia, I think they're idiots. I don't agree with it. I know everybody out there says, oh, but poor Ukraine. Well, poor Ukraine has been in the Soviet sphere of influence for, 100 years. And I don't know about you, but I don't think picking a fight with nuclear armed countries is the way to go. Um, I think it sucks that they were invaded. I think the Russians can be dicks, and Putin in particular. But the people of Russia, they don't want a war with us. They want blue jeans, the same crap they have. If you look at what Moscow looks like, it's clean. People are well fed. They're not fighting, and I'm not a Russophile at all. Most of my life, I've hated communism, and I still do. But that doesn't change the fact that there's many people who see things with a more left slant. I'm just an independent, man. I'm in the middle, and I find things atrocious in both parties. I think both parties should collect all their nuts, and let's send them to Epstein Island for a permanent vacation, something like that, because the real crazy, there's indistinguishable from each other. What happens is that there's a small percentage of each party that are just absolutely batshit nuts. And they do all the crazy batshit nuts stuff that they do. Like the freaking lunatics trying to shoot the president and all these things that it's always people who are on the fringes of society. And you always hear the same thing, oh, the quiet type, kept to himself. Yeah, that's it. Well, here we are at quarter past the hour, and you're on Live with Neve, and I have the excellent guitar player, Stephen Clark. He's playing a pretty rock and roll guitar, and he's going to be playing some blues as well. But I'm going to have him on. We're going to talk a little bit about, how he got from where he was to where he is. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to run a quick commercial break. We're going to be bringing him on right after the commercials. And here we go. If you want photography, Nancy Kravitz is it. Here you go.
I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast.
There's some changes headed like the gold.
All right, Carlton Wilkinson. Check him out live. We're going to see his web address in just a second.
Blowing off this wild bird island shore, and I can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been opened in the restless shade. Poor man sagging cigarette takes the subway alone. Rich man folding old regret steps on the rundown below. Like a melting flake of snow this year, I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
Yes, you are.
I would have said
A fine young cannibal from the Emerald Island. Yes. All right. Here we are. We are having a good time. It's about quarter past the hour. It is exactly 4:15, and the wind is blowing a beautiful breeze in. I'm about to bring our guest, Stephen Clark, on, find out what's happening in Oregon. I think you're going to like this guy. He's really an interesting case. He's been playing not very long, and he's quite good. So I hope you enjoy him. And without any further ado, Steve, how are you, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Greetings. Excellent. Excellent. How is it out in Oregon today? Is the weather nice?
Yeah, it's going to be about 70 degrees today. Sunny.
Very nice. All right. Are you new?
It's starting to transition into fall now.
Yeah, I bet. We're still. I'm enjoying it. It's perfect out right now, about 70, something like that, and no humidity. So I feel like we've got the similar climes going on at the moment compared to like Los Angeles, which is on fire and running down hills and just a mess. But so tell us a little bit. What inspired you to start playing music? A lot of people, start as kids. Did you have any other before you started playing guitar? Did you have any other musical skills or experience?
No, I decided one day that I needed something to do other than my job.
Right.
And I thought, well, I'm a big music fan. Heavy metal is my thing. So I went and I wanted to be Angus Young. So
right.
So I found an SG. But it was an Epiphone SG. Didn't realize what Gibson SG was, so I got an Epiphone.
Yeah, I have the same guitar probably. I have an SG.
Yeah, mine's a black.
Mine's a black one too.
Yeah, and so I thought it was going to be Angus, and I thought, well, how hard can this be, right?
Right, 4 chords, man.
Yeah, he's up there just go to town.
Absolutely. Keith Richards, there's many of those guys. They just take 4 tunes and write a great song around it. I mean, it's but the blues is something that when you've heard it played really well, you go, I mean, it can just blow your mind. I like all kinds of music, but I have a great affinity for the blues, having grown up, listening to Led Zeppelin, and they're playing, Howling Wolf and all these other. It's interesting to me that it took a bunch of English guys sitting around buying stuff that we weren't really listening to here. Everybody's listening to Buddy Holly and Jimmy Page, and the guys are listening to Lightning Hopkins, Howlin' Wolf, and all these other old, great players. And, I mean, there's always those stories of how they ripped off, their songs and stuff of the blues guys. But I don't really look at it that way. Personally, the way I see it is they were like me as a kid playing in the garage. We just wanted to play really good, and Led Zeppelin was really good, so we played it. I don't know if it was homage or if it was like blatantly we're going to steal the song. I just don't think so. Just from what I know,
a lot of those bands started out as blues bands.
Yeah, exactly.
AC was a blues band when they first started out. Fleetwood Mac was a blues band.
Yes, and a great blues band. I mean, people listen to the Peter Green, that version of Fleetwood Mac, and that's some great stuff. Really impressive.
Zeppelin started out as a blues band. So again,
Canned Heat, another band that people have totally forgotten about, was an excellent blues band. I mean, they're kind of forgotten in their one song going. Oh no, that was Country Joe and the Fish, but they were a killer band compared to what. Nobody really plays them much anymore, but I just happened to watch a clip last night of them, and it blew me away. They were playing at Woodstock. In fact, I think my friend Rick here, Rick Davis, my buddy, he sent it over to me. Yes, he was. I don't know what, Peter Green, I think I don't really know the whole story about that. I believe he went nuts or something. I haven't really followed up. I don't know what he happened to him, but
no, I think that you might be referring to Sid Barrett over with Pink Floyd.
Sid Barrett, that's right.
Yeah, he's when he went nuts.
Now that boy is French fried. There's definitely a little too much lysergic acid, diethylamide in his head, I guess.
Well, that's what they say is what drove him out of his mind, was too much acid and stuff like that. But I don't know.
He might have been wired weird. Who knows? I mean, people think about Jim Gordon, the drummer. Great drummer all through the 60s. Eric Clapton, Steely Dan. Gets home one day and just says, well, I'm going to just go and cut up my mom. Right. Okay. He's been in jail. He's crazy as a bed bug. I mean, the guy is just nuts. People who knew him said It's sad because the only place for that guy was sitting in a studio with no windows, padded room, and just feed him music to play. He wouldn't hurt anybody, but whatever was going on in his head, it's like, what's his name? The producer who shot the girl, Spectre. Phil and Blaze. He was known for just being a total nutball anyway, And evidently he shot out the monitors one time in a session with John and Yoko, and I gotta say, I've seen all kinds of crap in my years in the music biz, but somebody whips out a gun and starts shooting the monitors in the studio, that's when I'm gonna bail out.
Right.
What can I tell you? I had an Elvis guy once shoot a gun out the window as we were driving north at 3 a.m. He was shooting at signs on this road in Florida when they had just cut a Highway 75 down the West Coast back in the 80s or whenever they did it. And it was like through the middle of nowhere, And he decides to start shooting signs. And I'm asleep, and being a drummer, I'm a little feisty and get kind of aggravated at 2 a.m. when somebody's shooting at 357 out the window.
Right.
And I yelled at him, I'm like, "What are you doing, you idiot? Knock it off, will you? We're going to go to jail, you dumbass." Of course, he told me that he was a former Marine, and I responded, "Well, do you have any other defects that I need to know of?" And he didn't like that much. So I literally was dropped off at a hotel. But, that's a whole nother story. But I put it on one of those carts. You bring your luggage in, walked in, sat down with the waitresses, and they were like, "What's going on?" I said, "Oh, I just got dropped off out of the van." Pissed off Elvis. There was an Elvis guy, too. He's nutty as a fruitcake. But at any rate, yes, you do. And he got a bad dose in France, man. Peter's just, you got to watch out for those French. They'll flip you escargot. That's right. The snail dinner. I actually like it. I think it's pretty good. Well, in watching you, you have quite a few followers on your channel.
Yeah, 13,200 and something right now.
That's incredible. I really commend you for that. That's excellent.
Thank you.
Well, how about you want to play a little music?
Yeah. How much time do I have?
Oh, you got 15 minutes. It's 4:23. You can play, a couple of songs, whatever you'd like to do.
All right.
I figure people would rather listen to you play than me yapping at you.
I got one here. Now, just to let everybody know, like I think I told you earlier, everything I do is improvised. So when you see me play this, it's just what comes in what I'm hearing. Goes in one ear, right out the arm here, hand, boom, boom. And I hope my other hand here keeps up with this one.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Every once in a while, this hand gets a little faster than my brain. So I try to keep that to a minimum. So bear with me if you ever.
Yeah, well, you're getting up there in age, man. 60 is really tough. I'm kidding you, because I'm 63. I just had a birthday this week. And I do feel old, goddammit, but that's okay.
All right, so
I'm young at heart.
This one is almost 10 minutes long, but it's cool.
All right.
It's very freaking cool. So
Okay, guys, here we are with Stephen Clark.
There you go. What do you think of that one? Still here, Neve? I can play another one. You want me to play another one for you? Can't hear you, man. Your microphone is muted, my friend.
Okay, there we go. So sorry. Thank you very much. All right. Well, I'm sorry. We're going to go to a break real quick, and then we'll be right back. See you in a moment, everybody.
We are the Stone of Atlantis, and you are tuned in to Live with Me.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky people, you are live. You're live with Neve.
Hey guys, my name's Eli Alger, and I'm here on Live with Neve.
All right, we have got one more spot here we've got to play. Everybody gets their ads played here on Live with Neve. And here's the excellent and talented Fulu Maziki from Cape Town, Africa. Now that is a funky new sound, I must say. We're going to enjoy that. All right. So Steve, what do you plan to do? Do you plan to join a band or anything and go out and gig, or what do you do performance-wise these days? I'm sorry, we bring you on here.
Gig.
There we are.
I do go out and gig. I do it as a solo instrumentalist right now.
I see.
Eventually, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was going to ask you, where are you playing next? Out in Oregon.
Well, I just got through playing a place called Edgefield, which is a great big place out in just east of Portland. And
very nice.
Not many people can say they've been there to play, but I was fortunate. I was very fortunate to get there. So
that's great. That's great.
What I'm doing right now is I'm concentrating on my my channel, my page right now, and getting that built up. And I'm working on some YouTube stuff. So
great. Well, I appreciate you coming on the program. I'd like to think, if you have a new project coming up, let us know, and we'll reach out to you. Definitely. I always like to try and help people out who are doing original music and stuff. So when you do something, ring us up. And in the meantime, I'll be seeing you from time to time. I'll say hello and that. All right, everybody. Well, thanks. A big hand for Steve Clark, and we'll be talking to him later, or next time we have him back. So big hand for Stephen Clark. All right, people. Guys. Yeah, thank you so much for appearing. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. All right, guys, we're going to go to a quick break, and then I'll be back with our talking about next week's stuff coming up. Here we go. Right.
Awful.
I'm sorry. I'm a heartless animal here. I'm addressing. No.
Well, no, you are. I mean, I've been warned about you in the past that you really don't give a shit about people or anything. And this
No, I think they're all, we just killed the poor.
You're going to edit all Julie and I out anyhow, and this will just be you when it airs, won't it?
And that drummer joke is just going to go.
Oh yeah, the drummer joke will have to go.
Dead
That
in
one
the
really
water.
pissed me off. Beyond. I don't get upset. What do you mean? Let me ask you this: have you ever had? How many biggest fans have you encountered? That just not that they were harmless. Like, how many people have you ever had to run into that just kind of got overwhelming? Is that a common occurrence over decades?
Not really, because the beauty of my gig is, at the end of the day, I'm a sideman. So I don't carry the same kind of effect. Like if somebody meets Phil Collins or James Taylor or any of these people, they're like pissing in their pants and they turn into Ralph Cramden and they don't know what to say. But people that come up to me, they kind of go, "Oh man, didn't you play with James? I saw you guys at Blossom or something. Oh man, I love, man, you all these." It's really a comfortable relationship with fans. I never, and like when we would play places like Blossom Music Center, you've got the sheds, where you got the seats inside and then the big expansive lawn. We would finish sound check and like the band normally would be waiting in the dressing room. I go out and walk around the lawn, meet people and sit down, have some fried chicken with people and shoot the shit with them. I've always been real comfortable with, I don't even want to say fans. I mean, it's just people that, they're there for the music, they're there to present it. And so, like I can sit, like I'll be sitting in LAX and waiting for a flight. And
I'm sure that's
and because of how I look, I've created an image, whether I wanted to or not.
Sure.
And so people recognize you, and sometimes you get the people, you can see them over there going, or I'll be sitting like in the music center or the Amundsen Theater, and I look up a couple of rows in front of me and I see somebody on their phone Googling me to see if that's actually me sitting behind them. But as soon as we talk, man, I disarm the whole situation. I'm real uncomfortable making it about me. So as soon as I meet people,
it's obvious you're a very congenial guy by your nature. You're wired that way, I think. And other than that serial killer, I don't know, man. I've heard lurking about some guy in LA running over fences late.
I mean, there's always going to be that little bit of a dark side that you just try to avoid capture.
Of course, yes.
Right.
Evade and escape.
Exactly.
I mean,
make sure it's dusk.
Jack Nicholson always said you should always know where the back door is.
Well, it's really true. Or guys like Skunk Baxter, who thinks he's part of the CIA and all this. And
I know. He thinks big thoughts.
Big thoughts. And anytime you go to a restaurant with him, he sits where he'll never sit with his back to the door. Always wants to see who's coming in the room in case he has to make a move.
Right.
I look for the back door only if I want to leave without paying.
There you go.
Sorry, I have to say this.
Hear what you do. Go ahead.
Every single time I hear backdoor between you two, do you know what's going on in my head?
No,
I can imagine.
Out without paying our check, I guess.
No, I keep thinking it's backdoor in the wrong sense.
This is the thing that I think is so fascinating about you, Julie.
What's that?
That because we're sharing minds.
We're all friends.
Yeah.
You can tell us all.
Wait, so what is it? I'd love to hear it.
No, I'm just thinking backdoor too.
It's a song here somewhere.
No, there's no song. There's something more special.
Because it's all that's in my head, and I'm trying not to.
I usually go there to pick up my Chinese
question.
Neil, I'm sorry. This is between Julie and I. Really.
That's okay. I'm gonna dim the lights.
I'll
fade to black.
I'll send you a Polaroid.
Oh my God! You just made me spit all over the place.
Oh, no, here you are. Now you're spewing biological material around.
That's why people have to wear masks now.
Absolutely, that's all because of you, Julie. I'm gonna get the full face one with the fans on it. Look like I'm going into
back
I'm,
in the new Willard
I'm
movie.
going to go to a flea market and buy an old diving helmet.
There you go.
Like a sponge one the sponge
With
divers
the beard
have?
sticking out.
Just with the
Perfect,
windows in the
man.
front and the sides, weighs about 300 pounds, and just.
What we can do is get 3 or 4 Leland lookalikes, put them in those helmets and send them down to Grauman's, let them run around. You can make some money each day.
I got to figure out how to make some money because work ain't here anymore.
Oh! Man, right when it was getting fun, people, Leland just cut off. Fun interview for sure. And let's see what else we've got here from Lee. We're talking. I think he's a character, first class, and always great to have him on. Let's see. Here we go. We've got another. These are some cuts of Leland, and after the cup, we're going to be out of here. So enjoy. This was a really fun time.
Yeah, I'll show you this.
Oh, please do. Yay.
Oh, we're going for the bass.
No, not a bass, but I used my Frankenstein bass today on it, which is my old right arm. But a guy sent me a song to do for him, but it was like 38 pages of music because all he had was a score. So I sat here with my paper cutter, removing all of the bass parts on it. And here's the chart I used. And I had to tape it all together. And this is like, you can see it up close. It's just, every one of these is another piece of tape in here.
It's another bass line.
That's my bass chart here.
Yeah, you're quite a talented artist there, Mr. Sklar.
You do what you got to do.
That is true.
Can you bring us some glass bowls? Did anybody in the 60s say, Sklar, blow me a bong, please? No.
No, they would just say, blow me.
No, they might say, could you possibly?
What is the correct
terminology? I don't know.
See, the hard part of all that was, and the people that knew me, I've been doing this so long. I've never drank and I've never done drugs.
Yeah.
Ever.
You are wow. You are a
That's
paramount of health, man. You are the best.
That explains a lot.
What it explains is why a lot of people don't want to be around me because I still have memory. And there's a lot of stuff that people have wanted to forget over the years, but I always go, oh, no, that's not right. Let me remind you of what you were really doing that night. And then they go, oh, fuck, oh, get out of here.
Oh, man,
oh, no.
This sounds so familiar. We have this often, don't we, Neil?
Oh, it's happened. I haven't had a drink in going on 3 years, and it's a whole different world.
But we've known each other for about 25 years. So when the story thing starts, we're both like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. That sounds like a Warren Zevon song opening a weird door.
Very much.
So, I want to ask you a little bit about Warren because you've been talking about it on the show. I've been watching your videos. Just a weird question, which, not people always like to focus on the Purian aspects of Warren's life, which I don't give a shit. I've done a lot of dumb things, but when you first did the sessions with him, did you come in and know who he was? And then the first time you met him, was it doing a session with him or did you run into him prior?
Yeah, I think the first time I met Warren was probably in the studio. And we became, pretty much immediate friends. I mean, being around Warren was kind of like being around Hunter Thompson or one of these people.
Right.
They're thinking on a whole other level. And with Warren, it really depended on, if he was sober or not. But in the studio, his focus was like a laser. He really kind of knew what he wanted. And one of those guys, the thing I loved about Warren so much was he could write the goofiest kind of, satirical song and then turn around with the next song, you're tearing your heart out emotionally.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He ran a tremendous gamut and his keyboard playing, his guitar playing, everything was really wonderful. And it was all really him, like Randy Newman. That kind of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Guys, they're really a package. All their talent comes to surface in this one presentation. And I always loved, I would love to have toured with him. Now, the fun part of working with Waddy Wachtel is the fact that he and Warren their friendship began when they were in the Everly Brothers band together.
Oh,
Right,
I didn't
right.
realize they were
Some
in.
of this stuff
Okay.
goes way
Mhm.
back to the late
Wow.
60s and stuff. I mean, it's a real, and now that time has, traveled with us over all these decades.
Right.
You really, you start to see things in a different way where, like when you were first starting, you never saw you were going to have a career. You were happy to have a gig.
Exactly
Right.
right.
It was never going to be. And they were going to discover any day that I don't know what the hell I'm doing and call somebody else kind of thing. And, so
it was when those complaints about your beard started coming in.
I just at that point I just didn't give a shit about it. I figured if they couldn't take, if my follicles were bothering them, it's just
they're follicular challenged.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't look at this as baldness. I look at it as plate tectonics.
Yes, there we go. And my friend Rick is sending me something, so I'm sending you a little something back, Rick. I hope you have a great Friday. I think you'll get a kick out of my response. Unfortunately, people, I couldn't give you the lurid response I gave to my pal. Frequently, he will send me little snippets when I'm on the air, and I'll start laughing for no apparent reason. So if that happens, know that my friends occasionally do their best to torment me in a friendly sort of way. All right, peeps. Well, we're here about the end of the show. Next week, I have, I believe I have, friend of Waddy's from the band. I believe I have Cooch's wife on. I'll be checking that out. Maggie Korchmar. She is great, super talented, really a remarkable woman, I have to say. Danny's a lucky guy, and she's a lucky woman. They're a great couple, like the ultimate musical power couple. And I love their music, and I find them, just something I like to listen to. Just like with Leland and the Immediate Family, folks. If you haven't heard that band yet, check them out. Just go to YouTube and watch some of their live stuff. I've had a couple of the guys on, and they're all really great people, and they're all just the most consummate musicians, very humble, and just easy to get along with. When I was a kid watching Jackson Browne, I remember watching Russell play, and I would watch him and steal every lick I could. Boom, 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 boom. Back at Jackson Browne with the open bottom tom-toms he had, and he had such a great chops back then. He's still got great chops. As a drummer, listening to him and Leland, it's sort of like they're just such a great rhythm section that just locks into the groove. And man, sometimes I listen to what Leland's playing with the simple bass or this line, and it's like in some of the Phil Collins stuff. There's just some great bass going on. So in fact, we talked about, Leland and I and Julie were talking about drinking good bass. So we're out of here. I'm trying to decide what we're going to roll out of here with. We've already had Fulu Maziki in the house. So I think I'm going to give you a little bit of my old band screwing around, and we'll see you next week, 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock a.m., 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time and 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. Pacific Coast Time and 1 p.m. 4 p.m. here in New York. It's been a long week, and it's going to get a lot longer. So have a great day, everybody, and here's one of our friends.
Hi, I'm trumpeter Greg Adams, and I'm live with Neve.